Hello everyone, I am Jordan, and I'd like to welcome you to the very first episode of Talking with Friends. So, what is Talking with Friends, you might ask yourself? Well, I'll tell you. Talking with Friends is a show about, well, on the surface it's a show about me talking to my friends about, just about anything, really. On a deeper level, it's a show about me talking with people and finding out more about them, giving them an opportunity to tell their story, to let me and everyone else have a better understanding about who they are, what they've came from, stuff like that. It's to help me have a better understanding of my friends and the world around me. And on an even deeper level, this show is really about me just trying to find my place in the world and trying to figure out who I am, what's the point of my existence and whatever. It's stuff like that. It's not a serious show. It's semi-serious. We go off on a lot of tangents, and it's generally just a fun conversation to have. So this episode, I talked to my friends Justin and Randy, and we basically go over the main topic is what does it mean to be black? What's it mean to be a black person? And yeah, so we talk about that stuff, and I hope you like it. So welcome again to the very first episode of Talking with Friends. Enjoy. Hello, all you wonderful people, and welcome to the show. I am Jordan, and I'm joined by I'm joined by my two friends, Justin and Randy.
Oh.
So we're here to ask and answer one simple question, which is not simple at all, and discuss it. And that is, what does it mean to be black? I'm gonna let that sink in.
Yeah, let that breathe a little for a second.
All right, well, just...
Well, that's probably a good start.
That's a good start right there.
That was good. You looked relaxed. That was good.
Let's
Posing.
get ourselves ready for that. So, okay, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Jordan. I'm 23 years old. I'm an incredibly mega senior at San Diego State University. I'm an English major, and yeah. So this is I want to know this. I want to answer this question because me personally, I've always had trouble identifying exactly what cultural group I belong to, because I am Jamaican and Filipino, so I'm black and Asian, and I've always been too black to be considered to hang out with the Asian kids or the white kids and all that, and I was always too whitewashed or Asian to hang out with the black kids. So I was in this weird kind of limbo where I don't belong anywhere. So basically, I wanted to talk to both of you and find out just your views on that particular topic, like identity. What does it mean to be black? Is there a certain criteria for it?
Well, I mean, I guess there's a certain criteria depending on who you talk to. It's going to change a little, but I mean, I think the problem is with the question, what does it mean to be black, or what does it mean to be white, or what does it mean to be Asian, is the fact that you're identifying these groups by these sets of rules that don't really exist. It's all just made up, and all these stereotypes. And I mean, there's not a list you're going to find. You're like, okay, you're checking off all the marks. You're black.
I got that. I like chicken, watermelon, grits. Good to go.
Oh, don't forget waffles. Put the chicken with the waffles, son.
Chicken and
I
waffles.
actually had waffles this morning.
You.
And the grape.
So guilty.
Grape drink.
The grape.
I liked your little intro there about not knowing which one to associate with.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Justin. Thanks for recording, and I didn't know which one I was.
Introduce yourselves. Why not?
I am Justin. I'm 27 years old, also an English major at SDSU. Hopefully not for much longer, like one more semester. But yeah, I guess that's it. Randy?
I am Randy. I am also 27, and I am also an English major at SDSU. And after this year, I got one more left, and then I'm running away.
That's everyone's plan. But getting back to what you said about being half and half, I'm also biracial. I am Italian and African American.
That sounds a lot more exotic than me.
Because, you know, I bring my Africa to America because I've totally been to Africa never in my life.
Bonus points. That's a check mark.
There you go. You went back to the homeland.
Marcus Garvey would be proud. He's proud.
That's a pretty highbrow reference there.
That's a good one right there.
But one of my earliest memories is I remember being in Buffalo on the west side, and I remember waiting for the bus and getting on it to go to public school. And this is a little funny historically too, because on the bus there was definitely a race arrangement. There was all the white kids sat in the front, and all the black kids sat in the back, because, you know, Rosa Parks fought for that privilege.
That's true.
And in the middle was like well, we don't really have Mexicans in New York. We had Puerto Ricans, so that's where all the Latino people were. And I had the same sort of experience. Like, if I went in the back with the black kids, they would look at me and like, you ain't black, you light-skinned. Because that's how you pronounce it.
That light-skinned.
And I couldn't sit with the white kid because I'm not, clearly not white, even though I'm half. So I ended up sitting with the Latino kids, and they just had no problem.
They never do.
We sang really pop songs, and it was a good ride.
It sounds like a great experience.
But as far as racial identity, it was really uncomfortable because I'm not Latino at all, and I was basically shunned by my other two halves.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it. You know, I don't have the background of being mixed with anything else, but I can definitely relate to the. I can definitely relate to the not knowing where to fit in.
Yeah.
You know, just growing up in elementary school, I can definitely relate to that. Like the black kids being like, "Who are you? Go away." And the white kids being like, interesting, but not good enough. You know. Yeah. But in all honesty, yeah. I mean, it can be tough sometimes. I don't think that's an uncommon problem, because I think, and I don't mean like an uncommon problem for people black. I mean an uncommon problem for anyone. I think people of all races feel that way because, like we were saying earlier, there's these certain identifying factors that we put with race, and not everyone in any race checks them all. You know, it's that's just. True. So, you know, I think a lot of us feel out of place. It's like, you know, you start living by these rules, like, oh, these are the things I'm supposed to like, and these are the things I'm not supposed to like, you know. So, really, I mean, what it means to me to be black or be white or be, you know, Mexican or Filipino, Puerto Rican, whatever is, I mean, it means that's your background, you know, that's your DNA. That's all. It stops there for me. Like, you know. It's not like, oh, well, you know, which magazine did he pick up? Did he pick Ebony? Black.
Did he get Jet?
Did he get Jet? Oh, that's a throwback. Little mini Jet magazines. Are reading them in the store with my mom. Yeah. It's like, but
when I go to the dentist, they just have, like, you know, Jet just sitting out in the waiting area. Which would be nice and comfortable.
Oh. But I mean, all that stuff's, you know, it doesn't really matter in my opinion. It's just like, oh, like you read this magazine, you listen to this kind of music, you know, so you must be black.
Yeah.
Well, I think the word we're dancing around is stereotypes.
Yeah, stereotypes.
But what about people who wear their race like a banner, like it's an honor to be part of this? They're really proud to be their race.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, I think, you know, that's a cool thing, wearing your race as a banner, as long as you don't tie the banner to certain issues. You know, we have people stereotype their own race. It's just like,
that's true.
You can be proud to be like black, proud to be white, proud to be whatever. I mean, but you know, you don't have to restrict it to these things make you this. You know, what made you white is your parents were white. That's it.
Pretty much.
It's
It's what made you black. That's what made you Mexican. Whatever. It's just it's just genetics, man, and it's nothing more. But we try to respond to it in another way, take it to another level, as Justin said, stereotypes. And I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I think we're talking about black stereotypes because that's what we're familiar with a lot. But I mean, it's happening in other races and other things,
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious about stereotypes and all that. What stereotypes do you guys feel like you actually live up to?
Actually live up to?
Yeah, the stereotypes you live up to.
Lots of them. I'll let Justin lead off.
I'll say I never really looked at it because I always had a nice benchmark and said as long as I'm not that bad, I think I'm doing okay. And that benchmark is Skeeter from Doug. The point where I just start making like musical sounds with my mouth all the time, like that's when I hit the absolute epitome of black.
Skeeter from Doug, nice.
Skeeter from
I
Doug.
like how he was blue too, so technically I have no basis, but come on.
Yeah, there's no black people in Doug either. There's blue, there's green. There's no black people.
That's
but I mean, if being honest, stereotypes you live up to is like, I mean, I don't even see most of the ones that living up to as a bad thing. It's like, oh, you like chicken? Yeah, so do you. Like,
It's delicious.
who doesn't? Like, yeah, it's
delicious. Chicken's great.
it's like, so yeah. Like, we'll go to the food stereotypes. I like chicken. I like chicken wings. I like grape drink. I like, I like watermelon. All of that stuff's delicious. You're not gonna make me feel bad about it.
Yeah. Look at him. He's enjoying it. He has a whole bucket to himself.
I played basketball when I was a kid.
Well, that makes sense because you're really tall.
Yeah. Like some of us aren't that tall. I didn't play on a team. I played on the playground, and I wasn't good enough to play with the other black kids. They just like smoke and stuff. I'm like, get out of here, go read a book. It's like, all right. I guess I just stand here and wait to go in.
I guess
I'm always picked last. I'm always picked last. Like when it's me and other black people, I'm always picked last because like this guy, listen to how he talks. He can't possibly.
That's one thing I actually liked. Because when you're playing like sports, it's just like normally, oh, that's the black kid. But like with me, it was always like he's black, but listen to him talk. Like you were just saying, it's like he's probably not good at any sport. So I was always better than people assumed. That I liked that. They always assume he's not going to do anything. And then I'd be like, I could catch a damn football. Just throw it to me.
So is that one of the things that makes it means to be black? We have a certain expectation in the way we talk. And apparently all three of us are breaking it, right?
We were destroying it.
I don't even get it. I don't know. It's kind of funny with my parents. I always kind of think they knew I was going to be this way. Like like just looking like there's the black stereotype of naming your child. I feel like we all have pretty common names compared to the stereotype of black names that be like creative.
I always want my name to be like Jacquees or something.
Like that's a good one. I'm gonna go with for my daughter Alphabetiqua. I'm gonna spell it the whole alphabet like A through Z, and then IQUA at the end. It's gonna be pretty sweet. So she's gonna have 30 letters in her first name.
Oh man.
My girlfriend is looking at me like she wants to kill me. So we'll talk about this another time.
Well, that's better than some black names. You could just start naming them after like objects. You could just you have never met a kid named like Linoleum? Like
Yo, what's up? What's up? My girl named Chandelier. What?
My sister did go to school with a kid named International. That happened. That happened.
Or like Orangelo and Lamangelo.
In Lamangelo, yeah.
Lamangelo.
I had a friend in Ohio. His name was Sir, S-I-R.
Oh God,
no. No.
Like that was some kind of like black vengeance. All white people got to call you Sir.
is amazing.
Way to get one back on top. For the race.
Which
Yes.
did help because he had the most African last name in the world. It was Oputa. So it's Sir Oputa.
Wow.
I don't know. My parents kind of like dropped the ball with me. Like they named me Randy, so that it's like they knew how I would sound. Like my sister's Ranquisha, and then my brother is Kyrie. So they're like me. I'm the only one. They were like, we're just gonna give him a name that exists already. We're gonna go for Big Air on the other two.
I honestly thought you were kidding.
No, not kidding at all. Most people do think I'm kidding when I say these things, but yeah, I love my family. I love my sister. I love my brother, but I don't know what they were thinking on my sister's name.
That is so clairvoyant, though. That's like
great
naming
person.
your daughter Diamond, and then she turns out to be a stripper. You nailed it.
What's your name? Cinnamon? We know what you're gonna be later.
On behalf of all three of us, in all seriousness, if your name is Diamond or Cinnamon, we were just joking around.
Those
Yeah,
are beautiful names.
we hold no ill will towards you. We'll see you at the strip club Thursday night for free chicken wing night, and we have no problems.
I tip really well.
And I really want to try the food.
See, anyone listening is probably laughing, but that's true. I've heard you say that before.
No, that's
Jordan
not.
really wants
it's
to
not
just
a
try the
joke.
food.
I want to go to a strip club and try the food.
He wants that.
I want that to happen. Just. I don't see anything wrong with that, honestly. But anyway, going back to names, like I'm named after the Jordan River, and my brother's named after the Nile River, so we're Nile and Jordan. So
I thought you were Jordan as in 6 NBA titles. Michael Jordan. That's what I thought.
That's what you need to tell people, Jordan. You can tell your girlfriend when you're spooning after watching The Notebook that's named after River Jordan, but everybody else.
Jordan just had a look in his eye after you said watch The Notebook. He went back in time to when he watched it with his girlfriend. I saw it. He went back in time.
I'm neither going to confirm nor deny that. And it was P.S. I love you. Anyway.
Great.
But we were discussing what it means to be black. I'm sure we were.
Oh, is that what this is about?
That was something like that.
Well, we were talking about black names. That's how
We
we
were talking about black names.
Let's get back on track.
What do you guys think? Like, how do you think we started getting black names? That's something I've always wondered. Just how did that come to pass? Like, you don't see like an Asian guy walk by as, oh yes, my name is D'Angelo. That
D'Angelo.
was my roommate. Said that. Or like my name is Sarutobi. Like you're Japanese. Yes. Like, well, that makes sense. But you don't hear him come with the name like my name is Suzuki. Like you don't. Just like why are you named after that? My parents really like the cars.
I don't know. I think people just black people like to get creative with it. I think that's where it started, and then it became the stereotypes like, oh, well, what's your name? Like, now it's like expected, that's another stereotype. You're black, your name's probably something that we haven't heard before until right now.
What's your name? Lashonda? How's that spelled? Lay Seanduh? Lashonda? Like, why?
I mean, it's just, it's trends, I don't know.
No, this is a true story, and I know people make jokes about this all the time, but I've seen this name before. L-A.
Ladasha.
I've seen that name. I've actually seen that name before.
That is hilarious.
The moment the punctuation gets involved in your name, you've already tried too hard.
Yeah. A moment ago, we apologized to Cinnamon and Diamond. If you're watching this and your name is Ladasha, we have no apologies for you, or at least for your parents. They messed up, and we're sorry for your loss. So when you hit 18, you should probably change that name.
Change it to Alpha Baquisha.
Alpha Bequisha.
Yeah. Alpha Bequisha, that works too. Alpha Bequisha, Alpha Betiqua, you know.
Oh,
It's all,
Tiqua. All right.
it's all good. No, either way. You just gave me another great idea. That's what you do.
But if I have to give a serious answer to where the black naming came from, sadly I'd have to go with slavery. Because it probably came around that you buy your slaves, you can't let them go by Oputa, because that's just not household friendly. So
Yeah.
they probably gave them a lot of biblical names at first, and just started giving them like little nicknames. Like we just read "Go Down Moses." This is Tommy's Turl, and Tommy's name was like Tomashonda.
Well, my whole take on the thing is, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm sure, like, you know, but I mean, let's go to roots for a second, just a second. You know, he's Kunta Kinte. They rename him Toby. You know, something that they can say.
Yeah.
So my guess is, like, after slavery's over, they're trying to reclaim African heritage. So they're coming up with all these other names that, you know, and a lot of the black names that people come up with and people laugh at and stereotype too. A lot of parents are trying to give them names that come from, you know, African heritage too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, as a way of, you know, maybe reclaiming the past and stuff like that, or, you know, our heritage, because it's kind of hard for an African American sometimes to kind of trace their heritage back to actually Africa. You know,
Yeah.
everyone else could go back. You know, so it gets a little rough there. So, I mean, it's maybe a way of connecting backwards if, you know, you think about it.
I'm curious. Like, do you guys ever get this? Because, you know, when people find out I'm Jamaican or whatever, they're like, "Oh, you're Jamaican, so you're not like really black." I go, "What? No, I'm Jamaican, but I'm black." Like, no, because, you know, Jamaicans aren't really black. Because, and I was like, okay, yes, yes, they are. They were in Africa at one point. Slave trade, came to Jamaica, now they're Jamaicans. That's
Yeah.
we're
You didn't know your ancestors had been traded to America for you to be black. You didn't know that?
Well, it's like Miss Cleo. She's not really a psychic because she's Jamaican. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's really Jamaican either.
But she's definitely not Jamaican.
she's like Haitian or something.
Which is black.
Which is
but
black.
not
It's
Jamaican.
black. It's
Yeah,
not Jamaican,
I don't
though.
subscribe to any of that. You're Haitian, Jamaican, African American, Ugandan. You're black. You know.
If your skin is dark and you're not any sort of Hispanic, you're black. That's
Ask one of them American History X dudes if you're confused. If you walk up to them and they think you're black, then you're good to go. You're in.
That's a good benchmark. That'll keep you alive a lot longer. But no, this is a good point because how did I want to present this? It goes back to what I said about people who are like really proud of their race. Well, what happens when you're like what if you were to meet a black person who had like the strongest British accent in the world? Would you say they're British? Because that doesn't sound black, and we say African American. So should we call them African British?
I've never
Or are
thought
they
about that
just
actually.
British now that they've got the accent?
I'm gonna stick with black.
I'm still black. Yeah.
What's the guy? The
Skin
lead singer
color.
of Lead singer of Block Party. Black.
Yeah.
There you go. Done.
He's pretty black.
Every black dude in the movie Snatch, they're just
Black.
black dudes. That's
Yeah.
Black. Did you see Attack the Block?
I have
Oh,
not.
Attack the Block is amazing, and all those little kids are black.
Honestly, this is the second time someone has referenced that movie to me within the past 2
I think-
days.
Was I the first time?
No, you're the second time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need to watch that.
Apparently I do.
Gotta get on it.
But is it a skin color thing or is it a country thing, a national thing?
I feel like, for me personally, it's kind of like a mixture of both. It's if you see someone, okay, say you see a white dude. You see a white dude, right? And he's from South Africa.
Okay.
Your first thought is that, oh, he's South African. He is black. That's not your first thought when you see him.
It's not.
You're white.
He's South African.
You're South African and you're white. Just
Jordan, you said he's white. He can't be black if you said he's white.
Well,
yeah, see, that's a national.
You go on, Randy.
That's a nationality thing, you know. Yeah. Like me, like I'm American and I'm black. Yeah. Our good friend Sergio, he's American and he's Mexican. You know.
I thought you were gonna say black.
Yeah, he's black. He's black too. Sergio, shout out to Sergio.
He's black in here.
He's black in here. I have a video of him freestyling. I won't put it up. He'll get mad at me. But maybe at some other point, I'll let you guys hear that. Hopefully, he's not watching this right now. He will be upset.
I highly doubt he.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't be.
He has much better things to do.
He's probably freestyling right now. He's probably working on his flow.
That's what he has better to do. Freestyle.
So what do you guys think of the stereotype? Say, you know, you're black, you're in a poor neighborhood, you better start rapping or dancing or singing. What do you think of those stereotypes?
The old Chappelle joke.
Yeah, the old Chappelle joke. You have to be an entertainer.
Honestly, in most situations like that, yes. learn to play basketball. Learn one of those things. But that there's no excuse to not also have an education while doing those things. I'm just saying, have options. You know, go be a scholar.
You sound like Zach from the Power Rangers right now. Like you're telling us to stay in school, but all we ever see you doing is breakdancing.
All right. I'm just trying to. I'm not saying those kids shouldn't be doing that, you know. But like, yeah. I'm like, take us for instance. Take me for instance. Like I do improv comedy. Like I want to get into writing. I want to get in the entertainment field. Yeah. It like makes, you know. But that, I mean, you shouldn't feel like that's the only thing you can do. Like, you know, yeah. There's these stereotypes like, oh, that's what you need to do. It's like I can be a banker.
if you really want to be one, do it.
Yeah. I mean, it just sucks that I think that, you know, growing up in those areas, you have to hear those stereotypes.
Yeah.
And hear those. You know, that sucks. I mean, but yeah. I mean, if you want black, white, Mexican, whatever, if you want to do something, do it. You know. Yeah.
Like jokingly, if you live in one of those areas, be a drug dealer because you make lots of money that way. And then seriously, don't do that.
don't be a drug dealer.
Because it's illegal, not because we don't want you to make money.
Yeah, at that point it's just you live longer that way most of the time.
So if I have to answer this question, I can either answer it the philosophical way or the business way.
Both.
So the philosophical way would be, you know, do whatever you want. You know, if you work hard at it, you can be successful. The other side, the business side, is you should totally rap because it's expected in our society. So if you're any good at it, you'll just...
You guys are killing me right now.
I know, this is terrible for us to say about our blackness, but I mean, honestly, the moment you're a black guy and you show up at a basketball audition, they're not audition.
Basketball audition?
What do they call them?
Tryouts?
They're called tryouts, buddy.
Tryouts. Because audition's too hard for
That's
black
why you didn't make the team.
You're basically
you're
like anybody who's not black there. You're ahead of them in the line. You just. Yeah. I mean, it's almost like, well, I don't know enough about what's that colored advantage thing for college? What do they call it? White people are always complaining about it.
Are you talking about
affirmative action?
Affirmative action?
That took me forever to think of. Now you know why I don't use it. There's a smarter young African American student out there who should definitely have that advantage for him. Plus, I'm an English major, so
we have none of the advantages.
Give that to an engineer. He's going to do something.
He's gonna build something.
Especially if he has like a really white name. I'm convinced I've gotten all of my jobs because when they read Justin, they're just like, that's got to be a white guy.
Well, I have a unisex name and a Polish last name, so that's great. It's like Jordan. All right, it's either gonna be a girl or a guy.
I can't
Pollock?
wait till you're a teacher. They'll be like, Mr. Pollock. Oh, he sounds like a nice,
Sounds like a nice.
not black guy.
Maybe he's a painter. I don't know.
You guys are still killing me. I mean, just what I was getting at earlier is just like, you got all these stereotypes, but you have to be an entertainer and stuff. It's starting to give me a complex. Like every time I make someone laugh, like, should I be doing that? Like, let's be real. Dave Chappelle had a crisis, depending on who you talk to or what you believe, about his sketches, because about them, what they were meaning. Was he really causing people to think open-minded, or was he causing people to just laugh at all these stereotypes and just put them more out there, or were people actually stopping to think and being like, yeah, that's ridiculous. It's funny because it's so ridiculous. It's funny we think these things, Yeah. So I mean, it's like every time I make someone laugh, I'm like, you start to think, why are they laughing? What's the concept behind this joke? Is this furthering a stereotype, or am I opening up understanding that all of these things are ridiculous and that's why we're laughing? It's ridiculous to pigeonhole anyone of any race.
I know you won't believe me if I say I also share that crisis, because I know I caused many of them in you. But I do have that crisis occur every time Tyler Perry releases another movie.
Oh, God.
Because I can't understand how dressing up like a woman and acting crazy is just progressing black entertainment.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Tyler Perry, and that's because I've been thinking about it. I've been sitting out in a park bench, watching chipmunks run by, just contemplating this, and I can understand what Tyler Perry is trying to do with those particular movies. It's not so much saying, oh yeah, praise the black people, haha, we dress up as women and tear up people's wardrobes. It's more it's more like this is what I'm hoping is his goal, that he's highlighting the ridiculousness ridiculousness that people think about is supposed to be black culture, Like, he's trying to highlight those stereotypes that, oh yeah, black people are like this. They eat fried chicken, they scream for no reason. They go, Lordy, 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 you should do this for me.
I got a film for you that, in all seriousness, you should see. It's the only Spike Lee film I actually enjoy because of that message. It's called Bamboozled. Got Damon Wayans in it, and Jada Pinkett Smith. So it's good because they're in it.
Sounds like a good
But that's partially the entertainment industry, and this is getting a little bit off topic, but like the artist versus the business. The artist has something that he wants to accomplish, but the business wants to pay for what's going to make money, and most audiences are simple-minded.
Yeah.
Just separating myself from the interview. To all simple-minded people out there, I'm sorry. And getting back to what I'm saying is that, yeah, they laugh at it, and they oftentimes don't get the message. And if that's what happened with Dave Chappelle, then that explains why he stopped doing the show, because he didn't feel like he was actually making that difference that he wanted to.
Yeah.
Highlighting the ridiculousness only works if people actually look at it as being ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Tyler Perry, to be honest. I think he's trying to highlight his wallet mainly. I think he's trying to put some money in there.
That probably has a lot to do with it too. I mean, he has the opportunity to make buckets of money just by making these ridiculous movies. So I feel like at a certain point, he's like, I'm just gonna do this so I can get some money, guys. Just let me.
But and I'm not super knocking him either. There are some good things that happen in his movies too.
Yeah.
The few that I've seen. So I'm not really knocking him or anything. If you do want to see another good movie, as Justin just told us one, dealing with this kind of thing. Hollywood Shuffle by Robert Townsend is a good one, looking at black people in the entertainment industry and stuff like that. And anything Robert Townsend's just pretty much awesome guy. So
He is. He made Meteor Man.
He did make Meteor Man, and I'm glad you brought that up because
I love
it is
that
a
movie.
great film.
I love that movie so much.
I love it. Golden Lords.
Black to have seen Meteor Man. That answers your question, Jordan. We can stop this interview right now.
What makes you black? You've seen Meteor Man.
Meteor Man. Yes, I've seen one.
Oh.
No, but staying on this black entertainment topic, since we seem to know so much about it, like, what would you say was the purpose of making the film Black Dynamite? You've seen it, right?
I've seen it. And I'm going to go on record as saying I love that movie so much.
Black Dynamite's great. It's a spoof on black exploitation films.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. They're spoofing black exploitation films. They're not saying things are like this or need to. Because I mean, as much as you can look at black exploitation films and see like stereotypes and see like them like out trying so hard to racistly reach the black market.
Yeah.
It hasn't. They have their charms. They have their charms. And I think I kind of think Black Dynamite is more lifting things up more than and kind of having fun, making fun of it, but at the same time recognizing the good that came out of it too.
Yeah. This is slightly off topic, but my favorite part in the entire movie is when he's about to fight some dude, and then a boomerang.
Be right back.
All right.
I just continue.
and a boomerang comes flying through a window and it hits a dude. Then Black Dynamite runs in the room and says, "I threw that thing before I came into the room."
I remember
That's my favorite scene.
Ha! I threw that shit before I even entered the room. I do love Michael John White. Too.
Yeah, it was so funny to me because like,
is he back already?
That was quick.
I take care of business fast.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene because like he kind of breaks character. Like he's not cool, calm, and collected at all. Like he's like, "Did you see what I just did? That was amazing!" Like,
I feel like, and this may be heavy, but I feel like we cannot
lay it on us.
finish this interview without discussing the word nigger.
True. There's something I just learned today. I was talking to a professor that I know, and she was telling me about her fiance, and he's Senegalese, right? So he's just straight African. He's African.
Yeah.
And apparently, like she told me the story, like she was walking with them, and they passed by two other black dudes. And they're nigga this, nigga that, and N-word. And he was like, I don't understand why they say that, because he's African, so it's not a part of his culture to even mention that word ever, because like it's kind of like it's an African American thing where we use that word we just use it in general, whereas he's straight up African, and he's like, no, we don't use that at all because that's just not part of our culture. We just don't do that, and he doesn't see why. Word is used.
And that's understandable. It isn't a part of his culture,
Yeah.
But it is a big part of the culture over here, and I've heard many reasons for it. Some people say that blacks are trying to reclaim the word, by this, because this, I mean, you hear the word nigger and it's like it's brought up, so it's a hateful term.
Yeah.
It brings up a lot of different feelings and a lot of different people, different kinds of things. You can never gauge how someone's going to react to it.
Yeah.
But in some ways, I think it started as one of the rumors is trying to reclaim it and make it, instead of, okay, you want to call us this word, we're going to flip it around, we're going to use it ourselves. We're going to use it so much. We're going to take this word that you made to show us how low we are, and we're going to use it, throw it in your face, and you're never going to be able to say it again, for one. You're never going to be able to say it again. You can't use it. It's our word now. We may reclaim this thing. Now, how much of that do I buy? Like, I don't know how much it works, because because it's still, no matter how much you want to reclaim it, it's still this vulgar thing, and other people are hearing it and just like, okay, why are you using that word, that vulgar word? It's not making any white person feel bad. It's not making them feel like, oh man, remember when that was our ancestors' word, and now they're saying
we could use that word
as a positive thing. Oh man, it's like I get the plan, I hear what you're saying, but I don't really think it's helping any. I don't think it's doing anything positive. I get the plan, I get what you're saying. I hear, reclaim it, take it back, and empower us. But I've to this day yet to hear. You're like, oh man, they use that word, shit.
and like I know another thought of it is it's. African Americans here use it over and over and over again to kind of diminish its power, and to that I say no. And if I were to walk outside right now and some white dude just looks at me, get out of my way, nigger, I would die a little bit on the inside because that word still hurts so bad.
And he would die on the outside.
And like for me, it's a little bit of a weird thing because, like I don't identify myself that much really as being black. But then when it's used at me, I'm like, oh, I just feel horrible on the inside. I start crying on the inside and outside, and it's just, I don't know, it's just the weirdest thing. That's a very strong word that I feel like can never really, we can never reclaim it because that doesn't make sense. You can't just reclaim a word. Well, okay.
Not a word to begin with. It was the white people's word.
Yeah, like they made it. We're stealing the word at this point.
You guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna reclaim the word gay. Okay, I'm gonna reclaim it from this day forth. It now means happy again. It means
I'm
happy,
on board with that.
Joyous.
I'm actually all for that. I try to use the word lame only when I'm referring to something as being crippled.
Yeah.
But
I only
answer the question because I got to be the black sheep of this trio. But let me explain it through a situation I had with my dad because I remember like a year or two ago, I'm talking to my dad and I was referencing something, and so in making that reference, I said the word nigger around my dad. My dad was like, he gave me that look like, you don't use that word. And he proceeded to tell me, that word has been around too long and we need to get rid of it. About a year after that, my dad, just being as, like, I don't know, he re-examines himself a lot and comes to different conclusions on things. So,
that's good.
He's at Home Depot, that's where he works, and he's got the nicest white guy ever in the break room. This is I think this was just after like Django Unchained, because a lot of people are saying that movie's horrible because they used the word nigger. And he says to this guy, he's just sitting there like, I'm giving you permission right now to say nigger. It won't offend anybody in this room. In fact, I think my dad's the only black guy there, and he's just like, you could just say it. It's fine. The movie's great. You should go see it. Don't let that stop you from seeing it. He's like, and right now you can even say it. No one will be offended. And the guy would not say it.
That's because that sounds like a trap. It sounds like a setup.
Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. See what happens.
Does, he turns to his Mexican friend and says, say the word nigger, and he's like, nigga. Instantly has no reservation about it. And I think part of that goes with like minorities feeling like we're all on the same level sometimes.
Yeah.
But then my dad calls me and we're talking on Skype and he's talking about that word, and he finally switched over to my philosophy on it, is that it really depends on how it's presented.
Yeah.
Words don't have as much power as you give them. If somebody says get out of my way, nigger, he means to insult you.
Yeah.
But if one of my white friends who I haven't seen in a long time, buys me a beer and he's like, "Yeah, my nigga, I'm not gonna get mad. I just got a free beer out of it." So don't. I think it is.
See, there's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. I can understand the same thing, but that's dangerous for your white friend. let's say he meets someone else who's not okay with that. You just got him a black eye and an ass beating for because he thought it was okay, socially okay when it's not.
That's a good point.
Everyone's not going to be.
I can't tell if I'm helping him out by being okay with it, because that was not somebody else. Now it's like, oh. But at the same time, I don't want to be too mad, because I'm not really mad.
Exactly. No, I get you.
I think it's basically like how much malice is behind the word, which it kind of applies to every word. Like if someone were to, you're saying you're playing basketball, whatever, then you lose track of the ball, hit someone's car, right? And this dude walks up to you, "Hey, boy, you better watch what you're doing with your basketball, denting people's car and stuff."
By the way, that's how black people are supposed to talk. We've been doing it wrong this whole time.
I don't even know who I was trying to be at that point.
I don't know. But carry on.
Yeah, just him saying, "Look, boy," like it can feel. Just the way he says it, just like, "Oh, I'm not a boy. I'm 23." Like I really feel like it depends on how much malice is behind the words. Like if you same guy, ball dents his car, he goes, "Oh, look here, boy. It's totally fine. You lost track of the ball." It's like, "Oh, thanks, mister. Yeah." At that point, it's fine. It doesn't hurt anymore because he's like, "It's okay, boy." He's just referring to me as a boy, which at times can really get you. But then, so it goes back like to the word nigger. It's like if the guy looks at you, "I'm gonna kill you, nigger." Like then, mind you, any black person if someone says that to you, get a friend. You need help at that point.
Re-examine your surroundings. Where are you, and why are you there?
Yeah.
I feel like it really depends on how much malice is behind the word. Any word, really. Because that's what makes it effective.
My feelings on it is the way people present it to me.
Yeah.
Actually, the most insulted I've ever felt was not by the word nigger, not by any sort of racial thing. Somebody in like their absolute most bottled up volcanic anger called me a pretty boy. And that offended me so much at the time. I don't even know why. I've never even heard. That was like the one time I've ever heard that insult.
Well, was it like, "Oh, you pretty boy"?
No. It was kind of like we were having this argument, and he was so like red in the face, mad that he was losing this argument, and he just said something like, "Yeah, whatever, pretty boy." It's just something like that. I was like it made me, for people who expect this out of African Americans, it made me have a black moment. I really I wanted to fight him right there. Just, you're wrong. Don't make me feel self-conscious.
Pretty boy, I haven't cut my hair in like 3 weeks.
I think it comes down. It is a situational thing, and it'll always be. But I think the point was just that it's not necessarily helping or reclaiming anything, but it is situational. Like that's not to say that if like I walk down the street and like I see 2 black guys and they go, "Hey, what's up, nigga?" Like that doesn't affect me at all. Like I don't care about that. I don't, oh, how dare you?
I don't even know you, sir.
How dare you use that word?
I don't even know you, ma'am.
That's not it at all. But context is a big thing. I'm just saying, whether we're reclaiming it or not, I don't think it's having any profound effect and being a game changer in society. Where it's just like, oh, you know what? They've been using it themselves for this many years now, and it's the anger from the word is gone, the hatred is gone, racism is over. Everybody, pat yourself on the back. Thanks to everybody for using the N-word. Racism is over. That's not going to happen.
Paragraph to that argument that I was making would have been that, if we do get to the point where it's not always like a highlight every time you hear that word, then eventually it'll probably just kind of die out or something else will take over. I think.
You know, I'm waiting for the day when there's like a huge scientific breakthrough, and a guy just goes on speaker just like, "This nigga just discovered antimatter." You know, I want to hear that. Like
That's no. If I turn on the radio and I hear Rush Limbaugh or someone, this nigga discovered it, I'm going to the radio station. We're fighting right away.
Well, if Rush Limbaugh says it.
No, but,
Yeah, that probably wasn't the best. The best. I was just trying to say, you know, why I don't think we're gonna get to that point where a white dude's on the radio and saying it.
I want us to get to the point where it's a dude. He's completely praising like another guy. It's like, this nigga just did. It's amazing. You know, I want us to get to that point.
Because if it came out of Hugh Hefner, I'd be really conflicted as to whether I want to fight him or not. I'd be like, why did Hugh say that? I like him.
I think the most offensive thing I've ever been called is a black stupid. That's the definitely. See, you guys are shocked. You're shocked at all.
A black stupid?
A black stupid. It wasn't in that. It wasn't even. It wasn't anyone being serious. It was someone I know, and it was in jest. But still, like, after like this is a friend, and I was like, we always call each other messed up names all the time, and like that one, like I was like, am I upset or am I amused? I don't. I think I'm upset.
But I think what held you there for a second was you just got called an adjective, and that doesn't work.
That's part of it. I think more than anything, that's part of what made it funny.
Yeah.
It's like, did he just wait? What? Can you do? You can't do that. Can I get a reading from the judge? Line judge, was that okay? That's not okay.
Hey,
not okay.
The way you're acting right now, you're becoming a real angry.
I'm such a mad.
I don't know. That's what I hope happens. I hope we all start calling each other adjectives like that.
Start the thread right here. It's recorded.
This is the origin of it.
I forgot this was recorded for a second. People, do not go start calling black people that.
Don't do that.
That's not okay.
And I want to apologize for like
serious.
the past 20 minutes of us using the N-word.
I'm not apologizing.
It isn't any better that I just said the N-word because we all just.
Yeah, when you said N-word, you just put the word in all our heads.
Yeah, don't apologize for that. We did it with a good heart. We're bringing up serious stuff here.
Yeah,
even if we're doing it, even if we're having fun.
Yeah, it even though this is semi-serious, there's still seriousness involved. You know, there's it's like also don't use the phrase the N-word. Just really don't use the phrase the N-word. Just if you
say it or don't
say that whoever said nigger.
Just say it. Just because
show your true colors.
Yeah, just show us how you really feel.
You sound like a parent and a teacher talking about like what their son just said in the classroom. Like, did you know that your son said the F word?
Speaking of teachers, has anyone ever experienced this where you're in class and at any age, a teacher starts bringing up a racially sensitive topic like slavery, or that has to do with black people, or the '60s and the civil rights movement, and they can't help but look at you during it.
Every single time.
Like they'll say something that's really borderline, and they'll just give you a glance that. He doesn't look mad. I think I nailed it.
Every single time.
Didn't offend anyone.
That never happens with our professor. You notice how often she uses.
Well, I think that's because she's comfortable in the fact that she's a professor.
Yeah.
And she's been doing this long enough where she can be like, I'm comfortable. I don't have to check. I'm not broaching any topics. I'm not offending. We're just we're just learning here. Yeah. But a lot of teachers are uncomfortable with it. It's really hilarious.
Like for me personally, whenever they shoot me that glance, that's when I'm offended. That's when I get offended.
I get it. Because I get offended when sometimes it's a slip up, like where they mention something that shouldn't be like black or not black at all, but it's just a stereotype, and then they look at you. All right, so in this scene, Carl was eating chicken, and and glance. Wait, what? Why did she just glance at me? What the fuck?
It's like, granted, I had a drumstick in my hand, but that's besides the point.
Yeah,
So-
just joking. That hasn't happened.
I have a story from when I was in high school that might be relevant. I'm going to tell it anyway, whether it's relevant or not. But I think it's on topic enough. I don't know if he's still a rapper now. Do you guys remember Master P?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, yes. Thank you. You'd
Make
have to
him
be
say,
black.
na na na
Na
na.
na 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 na.
So around the time I think that song came out, I was in high school and suburban high school, mostly whites, and I had this professor who was something. I don't mean to sound racist, but it was something Polish, like Polanski. Point is, his last name had a P.
Was it Roman Polanski?
I wish. Now that would be
That was a
I'm just
horrible
joking.
year.
Roman Polanski is teaching me history. But you know, he had some long last name like that, you know, to make it easier, he was like, you guys could just call me Mr. P. And at the same time, this rapper just came out, so I'm like, dude, can I call you Master P? And I just started doing it just because, you know, I thought I was referencing the rapper.
Yeah.
Kind of my childhood naivety. But after like 2 days or so, he ends up like calling my mother. And he's just like, your son is really bright, you know, he's really smart, but he keeps calling me Master P. Like, I don't know what I did to him. I'm not mean. I don't single him out from many of the students. And so I eventually get like a parent-teacher conference and all this stuff.
Wow.
Like, Justin, what are you doing? What's going on? And I'm just like, Master P, you know, like that rapper. And it's just like everyone in the room was just like, oh, Justin.
I don't know. I'm right along there with you, man. I didn't realize where you were going.
I didn't either.
Third of the way through, I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
I wish I had a teacher that I could have called Master P.
Exactly. But, you know, at the same time, you know, it goes back to like the malice and intent. You know, what do people mean when they say these things? Because me, I just thought they're a rapper, dude. You know him. And he didn't. So I was just offending him or making controversy.
Yeah, I had no idea where you were going with that story. I was like, what's wrong with calling him Master P?
And I was just like, that's great. This is a great story.
And, it's completely unrelated. When I was in high school, we watched this movie. I forgot what it was called. It was starring James Earl Jones, and everyone would refer to him. What?
Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't Star Wars, but
Was it Field of Dreams?
no. It took place in South Africa. So
Lion King.
Coming to America.
I'm sorry, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to go because we will keep doing
I
this.
forgot the name of the movie, but then whenever someone referred to him, he's a respectable man. They always call him Ufumdisi. They always call him Ufumdisi.
Oh, that sounds very familiar.
It
Right?
does.
And then whenever there's a white person who's like of higher status, whatever, they call him Umzana, right? So my teacher that showed us this movie, she was a white lady, she's nice, Miss Weber. From that point on, it was me and this other black dude who, I don't know what happened. He just disappeared one day. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not asking questions.
That's what it's like to be black, everyone. One day, the other black
He's
is
just
not
gone.
there.
But okay, so so we would always call her, you know, Umzana, and I would always refer to him as Ufumdisi Rashad. just. But anyway, I'm telling you this story to tell another story. This other time in that class, we had a substitute teacher who had these shoes that I don't know what kind of shoes they were, but they had K's on them. There's 3 K's on the shoes.
Why were there 3?
It was K Swiss, but these were the 3 Ks.
Yeah. There's a K like around the tongue, then there's a K on both sides. So when you look at it, it's like K.
The marketing manager of that company should have been fired for oversighting that.
Fired with a gun.
So Ufumdisi Rashad saw this, and he was, I guess, in a gang, so he kept throwing up a gang sign at this substitute teacher. And one day the teacher, he called the office like, yeah, this kid Rashad, he keeps throwing up the thing for, I'm not gonna name the gang because I don't know who's gonna watch this. But then when he said like he threw up the sign too, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then Rashad was gone after that, just like Randy disappeared.
Just like Randy just spontaneously disappeared.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, that's what it's like to be black. This is now, I guess we could call the chat two black guys.
Yeah, we just keep on going. Just life goes on. Like nothing happened.
Side note about blacks disappearing. I had the
and then reappearing.
Unfortunate.
Sorry, I got lost.
Actually, I think Randy was there. We went to SDSU's special collection. They had that really old collection of like really racist literature, and they had this children's book called 10 Little Niggas. And it was basically just one of those stupid counting books where you start off with 10, and we're just gonna slowly lose niggas as we get down to really offensive things like, and the ninth nigga. And then the 9 little niggas had chicken, and one of them choked out of bones. So now we only got 8 niggas.
I'm really glad I didn't read that now that you're telling me.
You should have. It was...
I really want to read this now.
Quite soul-crushing, I would say.
Didn't Agatha Christie... have you guys read... Yeah, I know, I just brought...
Did Agatha Christie right there?
That's word. Black people know about Agatha Christie, too.
We don't have our own detective.
So, what are you talking about? We got Shaft.
We
got Will Smith and Martin Lawrence from Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2.
We have Alex Cross.
iRobot.
All right, but seriously, Agatha Christie, I think the reason I brought it up, she had that book, And Then There Are None, where they get invited to the island, they start dying one by one. I think one of the original titles of that was 10 Little Niggers, too. So, I mean, they use these things. These things were in existence. Like, I mean, stuff happened. So.
Oh, that was amazing. I forget what topic we were on. We were talking about awkward experiences with our blackness in school.
Awkward experiences with our blackness in school?
Oh. All right.
Yeah. Awkward life experiences where my blackness came. Well, a lot of them are kind of personal.
If you don't want to give personal anecdotes, you do not have to.
Yeah,
it's encouraged, though.
Well, it just has to do with one of our black stereotypes.
Yeah.
The anatomical one.
Let's end it right there.
That we're really tall.
Okay. I get
that a lot from like shorter white girls that I'm really tall.
Yeah.
I get that too, and I'm not even 6 feet.
Yeah, I get that too. I'm 5'10", guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's like whatever. I don't know, stereotypes. I'm trying to think of ones that happened at school. Like,
that could have taken a really weird turn, I just want to say.
I had a lot of funny nicknames.
Oh, I did too.
Having gone to, well, my early schools were in the city, but going to school in the suburbs, I know a couple of people like to call me sheep hair.
That's an ass beating.
That should have been an ass beating, but I didn't want any more than I already used to get.
Yeah.
There was one kid who was really racist, but also very, how to put it? If he's referencing Blazing Saddles, somehow he's mitigating it somehow. But he used to, like, sometimes when I, make a joke in since I was a class clown, make a joke in class, he'd say something like, "You're making a black spectacle of yourself," and I know that's a reference to Blazing Saddles. But at the same time, it's like the way you say that is just so
racist.
Yeah. Racist. Which white people hate being called. If you ever want to find an N-word for them.
Yes, it's racist.
If you ever want to find a nigger for them, call them racist. They hate.
Oh, well, I'm not racist. What are you talking about?
Let's flip that over for a second. Let's flip that over for a second. Let's let's talk about them feeling that way. And you know, I'd have to imagine it is kind of rough. There's a stand-up comedian I really like, Bill Burr. I don't know if you guys have heard of Bill Burr.
Yeah, he wrote for Chappelle.
He did.
Yeah, and he did some sketch. He participated in some sketches on there. He's got the one. He's got some really good sketches. Our stand-up jokes about you know, about race and, you know, thinking race. And one of the good ones is like white people, when they get in a fight, they can't get racial. Like, you know, a black person be like, man, get out of here, fucking white boy. Like, get out of here, fucking jerk. Because you can't say, you know, I mean, when you're white, you can't get racial back. I always thought that was funny.
I feel like that's the one situation where you should get racial. I mean, you're already in a fight. Just go all in.
No. Because then it's got
a hate crime.
It's got overtones to it now. Yeah. Whether you are racist or not, you flip out, say some borderline racist shit. That's it for you.
Yeah,
that's it.
You know, you scuffed that black guy's shoes, so it's already a hate crime. But no, you bring up a good point, and I think that's what I was trying to get to way earlier when I was saying about you know, people being proud of their race. What about people who are proud of their race, but in like an ethnocentric way, where they're playing teams or something, where, you know, their race. I'll give you a perfect example.
Hitler.
This happened this semester. I had somebody approach me. We're in the same classes, but, you know, never really talked. And the first thing he decided to say to me on this particular moment is, "Man, Obama's fucking up." Like,
well, that's obviously your problem and your fault, Justin.
Yeah, like we're all on Obama's team. You know, we're all in his camp, and just, you know, I know exactly what he's doing at this moment. I know what he's eating for breakfast. And, you know, if you got a message you want me to deliver to Obama, just let me know. He's fucking up. All right, let me write that down. After all, we all do know each other.
We have a direct line to each other.
Yeah, we all know each other. So, yeah, might as well.
I mean, I'll be honest, I voted for him because I thought he was the better of the two guys there. But, you know, I don't subscribe to politics. I don't know what's going on. Why would you turn to me and assume that me, because I'm black, I know all about what's going on with Obama?
Yeah. What makes me more angry is the fact the way it's said is just like it asserts that it's. Like you can say that, like, I have no problem if someone wants to talk to me about politics or Obama or whatever, but sometimes people broach the topic where it makes it sound like, yeah, like you said, like, oh, well, what are you going to do about this because it's your fault?
Yeah, you're guilty by association.
Yeah,
in association.
Well, like, we'll use not black people because this might help expand it. I know that when Pacquiao started, you know, rising up, all of a sudden all these Filipino people started, like, you know, waving their flag around and stuff, and I was just kind of like, well, you know, good for Pacquiao, he's winning.
Yeah.
But that's not you. You're not boxing. What are you so proud of? But I think that's just a human nature thing. We do that with football. Yeah, you know.
Well, people like to have a winner from that they can relate to, and they relate through skin color. That's like the whole thing with Tiger Woods. There's this whole thing: is he black or is he Asian? It's like, because everybody wants to take.
They were the one claim him. It's like the racial draft.
Oh yeah, you go back to Chappelle. I think he said that to him and his wife. I mean, obviously it was a stand-up joke. Who knows how true it is? But argue about which side of Tiger Woods is hitting the ball so well. If it's the black side or the Asian guy. But you know,
have you ever seen Asians play baseball? They would rape us. I'm just gonna say that.
They did destroy us. It was called the World Baseball Classic, right? Didn't they?
Oh yeah, it happened once, and we were like, never again.
Never do this.
It's going on right now, I think, again, and once again, we're awful.
I just find it funny that, like, other countries will be so much better than us in, like, a certain sport, and yet here we just call it the world champions. Like,
yeah. Like, baseball has a World Series. No other country participates except for like a couple of Canadian teams.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is kind of funny. It get kind of expensive. We're not going. Oh, we have an away game tomorrow in Jakarta, so like get a little jet lagged. But yeah, that is a good point, and we call them the world championships and stuff like that.
The world champion Lakers. Did they play Greece? Did they play?
That's different. We will win in basketball. We will win. Even though we had a rough patch there for like 8 years or so in those games where there are other good plays. The world's catching up. I'm waiting for football to go global, like NFL style.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. So we could, we're playing Germany today.
I want to see like a team of Samoans. That would.
We're done for. Funny rumor. I don't know how true this is in history, but I heard they invented the .45 caliber because of the Samoans.
What?
They were shooting at them with their guns that were weaker calibers, and it was not having enough of an effect.
I don't believe that. 2, that sounds a little racist.
Only a little bit.
3, that'd be so amazing if it's true.
Right? Now that would be a reason to wave your flag.
Like, you guys have to make a new type of gun to kill us.
But I mean, there probably is some truth to it, but it's more on the line of science rather than, specifically that. Every time there's a war, we always come up with a new weapon. But getting back to the point of the whole like racial teaming, that's one of the reasons why I don't really personally subscribe to being like, yeah, I'm Italian or I'm black, because I don't want to feel like I'm excluding others from like participating with me.
As far like I don't really give a crap about that. I don't. I'll exclude all of you. Yeah, no. I'll exclude everyone. No. I think part of the reason when you go into racial teaming, I think black people do that a lot more than a lot of other. And this goes back to a Bill Burr joke as well about black people are unified like white people are individuals. Like. But getting off the joke and getting a little serious for a second, I mean, when you go back and look at the event of slavery, this thing that happened in this country, this huge event, I think that's part of the reason why, black people are so unified and going through the civil rights movement and stuff, they feel unified. And so that sense of unity came through that event, so yeah, black people are by nature probably, it seems to be more unified than a lot of races, but they have a reason to there with that. Yeah. I think African Americans, and look, civil rights wasn't too long ago, so.
I would say we had a reason. I know I just shaved it, but I mean, you could say what you said about any race. I mean, the French had a revolution against the British, and that raised their nationalism. Anytime you have a conflict of people like that.
Yeah, but the British are gone. We're living here today. They're back in Britain. We're living here today with we're all ancestors of this thing that happened.
Right.
And I'm not saying that gives you the right to be like Black Power, fuck everybody else. Like that's not what I'm getting at. But I'm saying if there is this perceived other unity, there's a reason for it in history.
Yeah.
You can trace it back and you can see where it comes from. That's all I'm saying. You can see where it comes from.
Right. I would agree. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself in civilization, and I'm just saying that like 200 years from now, I hope we're not still
harping on these same issues.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, ever since 9/11, we all seem to get up against the terrorists. So. Yeah. I said the terrorists, like I know specifically who I'm talking about, but I'm just as vague on the topic as most people are. I don't know.
All right, so let's go back to like closer to the original topic. So, which is what does it mean to be black? But so what culture do you guys think that you personally subscribe to? Like, what is your culture?
I feel like Randy has a better answer, so I should probably start. I had been asked this question by my cousin. By the way, that's one thing that makes you black. You have to manually draw out your family tree to figure out where they are. My cousin and my dad, because they're both full African American, I'm biracial, and they asked me on a trip to Vegas, how do I see myself? Do I see myself as black? Do I see myself as white? And I said, no, I don't really see myself as either. I mean, technically, when it comes to writing down on paper, I write biracial.
Yeah.
But, I don't, what does it mean? That's just, it sounds to me like another form of the broad question. What does it mean to be black? So which one do I subscribe to? Because it means something if I say that I consider myself black. I consider that I need to, I don't know, check up on what Obama's doing lately.
I mean, I consider myself black. Both of my parents are black. I may not act like it according to the certain standards of the world, but I'm a black man. I'm an African American man. My parents were, my parents. I was gonna say were. My parents are black. They still are, so that, I mean, that's what I consider myself. But if you want to start attaching labels to black, I don't consider myself to have to live up to any of those labels. Yeah. Like, oh, you like these things, but I consider myself black. I just don't consider the labels that people attach to black to be valid. Every person's different.
I mean, here's a question that it comes down to. Let's say you're going on a blind date, and you're told that she is black. How does that curve your preconceptions? That lets you know right there if you're stereotyping.
That's the thing. Everybody stereotypes a bit. Everybody. You probably have thoughts in your head because stereotypes are so prevalent. But those are the kind of things we need to catch yourself on. Because if you're going on a blind date and the only thing they tell you is she's black, you don't know anything about her really. You know that from a DNA perspective, her mom and her dad were black. That's all you really know. Yeah. And once you start thinking about other things, you're going into territories that you really shouldn't. Don't make those judgments. And it's hard for everyone. I'm not judging anyone. I mean, we all do these things. But that's where we as humans need to check ourselves and, just go, hey, I don't really know anything about it. Now, if you tell me, she's an English major and she, her favorite author is Shakespeare and her favorite, music to listen to is country. I know a couple more things about her. About that like Shakespeare and country. And is African American. I could get 2 out of the 3. I know a girl who's African American and loves country. I don't know
give her my
that
number.
She likes Shakespeare. Give her. I think she's a little young for you. I'll find an older one.
All right. So say you walk into the sports arena or whatever, and they're having the racial draft. So they have a group of white people, a group of black people, a group of Asians, a group of Mexicans, a group of so on, so on, so on, so on.
Yeah.
So would you guys just walk in and go, oh, black guys, yeah, just walk over there, and would you walk to that group because that's what you identify with, that's what you feel most comfortable with, like being surrounded by those people?
I would inquire, like, do we have to sit in the sections? I'd probably just find a good seat. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if you're asking me if I'm gonna go down and sit in if I sit down in any section, I'm probably not gonna feel like I completely belong in any one if you're talking about these standards. But but I mean, if there's sections labeled by race and I have to do it, then I'm just gonna sit down with the black people. I mean, but I got a better question for you. I will see your question and I will raise you another question.
All right.
It's the racial draft. Who's your number 1 pick? You're picking from another race. You're gonna make them black. Who's the number 1 pick?
So okay, so I'm making this person black. Is what
you're making this person black now.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, if I saw this racial draft, I would just go where the let's not be offensive. The most attractive women are. I was gonna say another word like hottest bitches or something, but that just sounded so distasteful.
That was your alternative phrase.
No, but I want to turn this question around on you because I was imagining the whole stadium, the whole racial draft thing going on, and that raises the question of, okay, if you're walking down a dark alley and you see a group of black people, do you feel comfortable just because you're black?
If I'm walking down an alley and I see a group of any people, I am not comfortable. Why are they hanging out in an alley?
Seriously, that's my.
So that was my thought when I walked into the stadium. We've got the whites over here and the blacks over here. I'm just assuming there's going to be like a fight, or hopefully maybe just some ultimate football.
Oh man.
Go back to Randy's question. For funsies, I would say Rush Limbaugh, just because.
Because it would make him angry?
Yes, so angry. Because then he... and it would be so funny. And then for a more serious answer, I would say Michael Jackson. And even more serious answer... for even more serious answer, I'd probably say somebody like... I don't know. Barack Obama. Just like... You're 100% black because people say no, he's half or whatever controversy. No, he's full black.
Wait, I walked away from this question. What was it?
It was if you were at the racial draft and you were on the committee and you're picking one person you have the first draft pick for African Americans. You're gonna make this person black. Who are you picking?
Oh, okay. I got this because. I like how you went for people who were at least partially black. No, what we need some people who aren't black to fill in some of the gaps that we haven't gotten to. So Stephen Hawking.
Gaps? Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking.
You realize you just said we don't have scientists. That's what you just said. You said to fill in the gaps that we don't have.
Wait,
we have George Washington Carver.
Tyson Grassi? Is that how you pronounce it?
There are black scientists, but I'm not
astrologist.
I don't know.
Astronomist.
I'm not arguing with your Stephen Hawking pick. Just the way you said it.
We have no scientists.
Well, I like Stephen Hawking. He's a good pick.
If we're at a draft, we're assigning teams. I mean, if I don't look for somebody famous or prestigious in some way, then I might as well just say, I don't know. Let's take Sergio. He hangs out with us enough.
I think Sergio is coming up a lot in this. He needs to be on the next one. We need to start a what is it,
podcast.
Podcast. There you go.
I like that you brought that up because during
Three Black Guys podcast.
During the summer, I'm actually going to be doing a podcast with Sergio.
I would love to be a guest.
I would love to be a guest.
Perfect.
Going back to the racial draft just for a second, I think I'd pick up an impressive young chap like Justin Timberlake. Talented guy.
Good choice. Good choice.
Great. He's putting out the music. He's hilarious. Doing the comedy, acting.
He's got such a strong first name.
If we're gonna keep nice. to this motif, I would pick Shakespeare. So then, because you can't go up to somebody and say, "Do you know who Shakespeare is?" The odds are they're gonna know who Shakespeare is. If he was black, it's like, yeah, that strong black man Shakespeare, who was the greatest author of his time and arguably today. It's like
that's why he wrote Othello.
He wrote Othello. Strong.
Whoever downloads Fishburne.
Othello is loosely based on him. It's loosely based on
that's it.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare's black. That's canon now. That's.
So that whole rumor about him not really being him was actually it was a black guy who wrote for this white guy.
Or I'll take it a step further. Jesus.
Boom.
Oh.
Number one pick. That's a good one.
That would just throw Rush off a cliff.
I'm so glad we were all created in his image.
Oh.
That would be the greatest thing, that we find that Jesus was actually black. That would be the greatest. Oh.
Like, and I don't mean from, over there in,
just
Africa. I mean like from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Or something.
Before Brooklyn even existed, he was from there.
Before there was Brooklyn, before there was Jay-Z, there was one man, Jesus. Coming to a theater near you guys, 2015.
Coming soon to theaters. He died for your sins, and now he's coming back.
To collect.
He's coming back
And the
to
first
collect.
thing he's going to do is edit the Bible a little bit because there's some mistakes. First off, I didn't turn water into wine, fools. I turned it into Cristal.
Straight Hennessy, baby.
Has anyone ever heard of, like, you know, those lost books of the Bible and things like that? And you guys have heard of any of those?
I have not.
Okay, so you've heard, Justin, of any of those?
So.
Yeah, they, like, a while back, they found, like, different scrolls for different books of the Bible that were supposed to be written for the Bible, but I don't know, they didn't make the cut or whatever it is. They're not accepted as part of the canon, you know, any of them. But there's some, I'm pretty sure there's some crazy stories in there. There's, like, one where, like, some kid says something about, he either throws something at Jesus, like a rock or something, or either, like, brushes shoulders past him, and Jesus just straight up kills him. Like 12-year-old Jesus. He's just like, whoa, you're dead. Like, you know, so, I mean, we can put those in the Brooklyn Jesus movie. You know?
I need to hear about these because there's one that says that Jesus kills a dragon.
There's some stuff, yeah, exactly.
Like there was a dragon in a cave, it was attacking this family, and I think he kills... I know the family dies somehow, and he does not save them.
There's
dragon.
There's some crazy stuff. There's some crazy stuff in there, yeah.
Dude,
but they all have morals to them. So like the moral to that one is just like really weird. Like you should not try to covet a dragon's cave. Duh.
And then the one with the kid is don't fuck with Jesus.
Well,
that's it. That's the moral.
Oh, this tangent is horrible. So
This guy on a weird
Yeah,
tangent.
this is a bad tangent. I want to apologize for this tangent. Just so I also want to say that you can't take what we say with a grain of salt. We are comedians for the most part. We say funny things.
And we are by no means
And,
like experts.
We're
No.
certainly not. We're
don't
a
research.
biased group. I think. I don't think we have. Like we don't have a very militant Spike Lee kind of friend who could join in with this.
Speak for yourself. Do the right thing.
I'm sorry, that's Brandy.
I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to admit this one. I have not seen Do the Right Thing, but
What are you doing?
I'm gonna
That's
be.
fine by me.
I'm watching
I like
it.
Spike Lee,
I'm watching it this week because I have to. So
right?
For class?
yeah, for class.
What you need to do is you watch Leonard Part 6. That's your assignment. Watch Leonard Part 6.
Or
That's
Django.
the homework. Or Django. I haven't seen it either, actually.
Django or
Yeah, I haven't seen Django yet.
yeah.
Is it out on DVD? Is it out on DVD yet?
Sure.
I don't think so. I don't think it's out yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's out yet.
It should be soon.
When it comes to DVD, I will buy Django. I will watch it.
I'm gonna buy it too, and Les Mis, just because I want.
I'm
that
not buying
soundtrack.
that.
You brought up the civil rights movement, and the civil rights movement always makes me feel guilty.
Why?
Why?
But at the same time doesn't. Well, because, like, my dad was born in 56? I think? No, that's my mother. He was actually born, like, 10 years earlier. So he was born in the 40s, and, the civil rights movement was a lot of effort, a lot of suffering to basically get the life that we have now.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like I take it for granted, but on the other hand, isn't that what I'm supposed to do? They wanted me to have this kind of freedom, and now I do. So
That's fine. Yeah, the freedom's good, but never forget it.
Never forget.
well, I never forget. It's the only thing I do in Valentine's Day. Is remember Black History Month is also happening in February.
That's true. They gave us the shortest month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a post. Like, I always laugh at those posts. I see the post. If you post this on the internet, this is directed to you. Why do black people have a Black History Month and white people don't? Because you guys have 11 other months. That's the answer. That's the answer. It's like, why is there a Martin Luther King Jr. Day? It's like, why isn't there a white person? Every other day is your day. That's the answer. You have every other day of the year.
Can we get on a very odd topic? This
Absolutely.
is going to be odd because obviously only one of us has any whiteness in them, and I believe that's me.
I do have. I mean, I would argue that a lot of us do. Like, if you go back, like I'm not half white or anything, but like my great grandma is like part white. You know, she's like half white.
I went to a predominantly white high school.
That's totally funny. But what? Because you said, white people have, every other month. But have you ever ran into a white person who's like, I'm not white, like they specify which white they are?
I'm not white, I'm Irish.
Yeah,
I'm Scottish.
Not usually, unless they're from Europe. I usually don't get that answer unless they're from Europe. Usually it's just why, and I'm saying this stuff in tongue in cheek, a little bit. But seriously, all I'm really trying to say is stop complaining. Are you really going to complain because we have a Black History Month? Are you really going to complain? Shut up, like all of you.
Seriously,
whoever's complaining about that, just because. Like another one's funny. Oh, there's Black entertainment television. It's just like.
But that's because
it's like. There's NBC, ABC, CBS. How many shows on those channels are about black families?
And honestly, WET Wet does not sound like a good channel.
Wait, that sounds like a great channel, Wet.
No, but you'd go there for completely different reasons. You would expect water sports.
Well, there we go. And part of what it means to be black, or why this is even a question. Notice how they don't ever have to designate anything as being white.
Because it's the norm. It's just
it's either just the norm, or we don't say it's white. It's just what it is.
It's kind of like how if you go to most like delis or whatever, and you order a sandwich, it just already comes with mayonnaise on it. And stereotypically, mayonnaise is a thing that black people don't normally eat unless there's hot sauce on it.
I'm glad you brought that up. So we'll finish your point, and then I'll jump back in.
Wait, I thought I just hated mayonnaise because it's gross.
Well, I personally I can't eat mayonnaise because I'll just throw up everywhere. But so they just put the mayonnaise on it because the overwhelming majority of people who are often white want mayonnaise on their sandwiches. That's why this is just already there, just ready to go. That's the norm. Mayonnaise is the norm.
I don't subscribe to that stereotype. This is a perfect example of what we're talking about. That black people don't like mayonnaise, or myself, I prefer Miracle Whip, but I will eat some mayo too. And the reason I don't subscribe to that is I never even heard of that stereotype until Undercover Brother came out. And now, because of Eddie Griffin, you, Eddie fucking Griffin, if you're listening to this, because of you, I have to answer for it every time I put freaking Miracle Whip on my sandwich, or mayo, and it's normal to me. Like, I'd never heard of that. Like, my family, and like, there's lots of, I have a black family. There's lots of cooking, lots of down home, good cooking.
Nice soul
and
food.
When I want to make a nice soul food, when I make a sandwich, I gotta get shit for it now ever since Eddie Griffin's movie because I want mayo on it. But so I don't subscribe to that stereotype. That's a perfect example.
Yeah,
that's a stereotype. That's a check mark I don't hit.
Here's a stereotype. Go on.
I actually have no joke for this one. The thought that immediately popped into my head was, who eats a dry sandwich? You got to put something on that thing.
That's right.
I can't eat mayonnaise because I'm allergic to egg, so I'll just throw up everywhere.
You get some mustard?
I'll put mustard or like ketchup, but I just can't do mayonnaise.
Ketchup on a turkey sandwich? What is wrong with you?
Well, okay. Well, I can't have mayonnaise, all right?
Burgers and fries.
Stop calling him out for his hunger. Okay, everybody eats weird stuff. I put potato chips on like all my sandwiches.
I do that too.
Like I put French fries on my burgers.
They give you a bag at Subway with it.
I like the soft and crunchiness.
No. That's not weird. They give you a bag at Subway with it. But if you put ketchup on like macaroni and cheese, that's weird.
That is a little bit weird. I've done it before.
I've done that before too. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
What I do is weird. I will turn anything into a sandwich. Like my mom can make like steak and mashed potatoes, and I'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna be a sandwich." Put mac and cheese on it too. It's a sandwich.
I'm gonna discredit myself with anybody who's gonna watch this because I'm gonna say one of the most racist things ever, and that is I too do that with my food because I get to combine it and I like making a little sandwich. But I realized that's exactly what Mexicans do with all their food. They put anything in a tortilla. Yeah. And I think a tortilla is just like flat bread. So they're just making sandwiches, right?
Same ingredients, different way. You know,
I'm all about that too.
It's delicious.
Love Mexican food.
It's all delicious because they use the same ingredients, so it's always good.
Any Mexicans out there, any girl's name El Nasha, we don't mean any offense. We love you.
So another stereotype that I don't subscribe to is hot sauce. I can't do hot sauce. I can't do it. I can't do hot sauce, guys. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I put hot sauce on everything.
I can't do it.
Tapatio, Sriracha, Louisiana hot sauce, whatever. Just give it to me. I love it all.
I can't hot. It's too spicy for me. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the reason why I do it is because I treat eating like a battle. So I got to give them some kind of advantage because I'm just winning all the time.
Plus, like for me, it's like if I put hot sauce on something, it kind of overtakes the flavor of everything else on, like, say, a sandwich.
Well, yeah, and it adds delicious.
That's the point. When you end up marrying a woman who can't cook, you just get really comfortable with putting sauces on everything.
Absolutely. Just oversauce all of it.
To all the women out there, you're all great cooks. I love it. I really do. Spaghetti is my thing.
Stop pandering to the crowd, Justin. You guys, you all aren't great cooks. Not all of you are. Deal with it. If you're not, marry a man who can cook. Or order takeout.
Order takeout.
That was awesome. Wait, we're still on stereotypes?
Yeah.
Sure.
What stereotypes do you guys like subscribe to or don't subscribe to?
Chicken. Check. Subscribe.
Oh, I was about to say you don't like chicken.
No. Check.
Subscribe. I love chicken. Fried chicken. It's delicious.
Here's one I don't. Here's one I don't subscribe to. Walking around a quiet place, like say a library, and then yelling to my friend 50 feet away. I don't subscribe to that one.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
I don't subscribe to that one.
But on that one, I will say one that when you say subscribe, that sounds like I'm voluntarily clicking the link. But sure. I do talk during movies. I can't help it.
Guilty.
I think that's as much as part, because I mean everybody here is a pretty humorous people. I think that's also about the comedian side of it. Like, I'm like, always thinking in terms of comedy, like how can I put this in either like stand up or either a script or something like that. So I talk in movies and entertainment, but that's like my thing. I think that's about being an entertainer as much as it is about being black.
But I mean,
but you know that the perception of like other people in the audience is going to be, that you're just being one of those black people who just got to talk all during Captain America.
I can understand that, but at the same time, you can be watching a movie where a girl gets raped by the forest, and no one's going to say something about that? No one's going to say something about that.
Oh,
I know I will.
Did you just recently watch Evil Dead?
Yes, he did.
I rewatched it, yeah. But seriously, if someone gets attacked by the freaking forest, and no one's going to say something about that, no one's bothered by that, really?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't try to talk to her, but like every once in a while, I have just what I call an honest reaction. Like I was watching that movie, The Recruit, with Colin Farrell and Al Pacino, and it's just a really like not funny part, but he's like says something, and Al Pacino rattles off a hilarious line. He like asks him a question. He's like, "Who knows? The shadow knows," and I just start cracking up, like. And no one else in the movie thought that was funny. So I'm the only one like sounding like an idiot laughing. I won't hold back my reactions. If I think it's funny in a movie, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm not like so like much as providing commentary over the whole thing.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna sit in a movie theater and be like, "Ooh, girl, don't go in there. There's a killer." Like I'm not gonna do that.
No, I will say something funny. I will make commentary if. It's usually because the movie's not good enough to hold my attention that I decide
so you have to make it good.
Something.
Yeah. Keep yourself invested.
That's funny that you mentioned laughing because I do that especially when I go see plays. I feel like it helps the actors if, they do something funny and I laugh.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
if I didn't think it was that funny, I might just let them know, yeah, keep going,
Yeah. I like what you're doing there. Keep it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Because I've tried acting on stage. It's harrowing.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling. It's
Yeah, you do it like every week.
Yeah.
it's a weird feeling. But yeah, audience feedback, in improv you thrive off that though,
Yeah.
So I mean you want audience feedback. That's like the one where you could throw out all those rules. Although we have had
Peanut
get
fight.
a little obnoxious. What?
Peanut fight.
Apartheid.
That was a great suggestion. But in that form, you want people. But I'd say in any form, you do to a certain extent want a reaction. It reinforces, like you said, what you're doing is good. You're on track.
Yeah.
Especially in comedy.
So yeah. What were you gonna say, Justin?
Black stereotypes. Somebody had one before I interrupted that, but
I will be rejoining shortly. One sec.
All right. Let's see another stereotype that
that we're not good with money, that we always spend it on materialistic things. I'm wearing a tie-dye shirt that I made myself.
That is true for me to a certain degree because I know.
Dress really.
I'm not talking about
flamboyantly.
I'm not talking about my clothes. So
I am going to talk about your clothes because you dress quite. You always look new. And this is coming from me because I know I wear just whatever I can find in the closet when I wake up in the morning. But I'm always like, I look really cheap next to Jordan all the time.
Okay, here's my secret to that. You get 2 jackets that look nice. You wear those jackets in conjunction with a shirt that I guess can kind of blend in with the color. So if you get a black jacket, wear any type of shirt. And then wear a good pair of jeans that fit you the way you want them to fit. All right? Then shoes-wise, you can wear any type of shoes as long as they're not horribly dirty. That's how my wardrobe works basically.
When was the last time you went shopping for clothes?
Like physically, like to a mall?
Yeah.
It's been a very long time.
And you're just doing something better than I.
No, because
you're blacker than me. That's what it is.
No, because I've honestly I just got 2 jackets that look nice. My pleather jackets, and then I order a bunch of shirts online, and I just wear the same pair of jeans and shoes like every single time, and then that's just how I dress.
What did I miss?
Randy, the stereotype that blacks are very materialistic, and I was pointing out that Jordan always looks new. He knows exactly what I mean. He's thought this to himself.
I mean,
you accessorize, man. I've never seen you without a hat.
I don't. The reason I don't subscribe to that one is because I feel like as a generation right now we're materialistic. It's not just African Americans. Everybody looks shiny and new.
But if I saw, when I was in high school, if we saw a white kid wearing what Jordan wears, that would be a thing. That's a wigger. So I feel like this is topical, like black people and clothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me personally, I just wear what makes me comfortable, and I feel comfortable wearing. That's how I dress. I dress in a comfortable manner for me, and I base it off of whether or not I am comfortable with how I look. And like, oh yeah, I think I like how this looks on me. And that's why I'm wearing.
See, I'm
wearing a sweater like this has a weird random pocket there, but I like it.
See, that's as far as it should go. Just like do you like what you're wearing? I could dress on any given day different. Like I could come in wearing a football jersey, and then I could come in the next day wearing skinny jeans and like a sweater vest. Like I
Yeah.
Like I could be wearing a cardigan, like or I could be wearing a wrestling shirt, as I am right now, Dolph Ziggler. So like I mean I just wear what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what I do, because I feel like if you don't like how you dress, change how you dress.
This is something you can control in your life.
Yeah. Out of the many things in my life that I can't control, I just know what I can wear is something I can control. That's why I dress the way I do.
All right, I'll let you get away with that. I'm just jealous of your wardrobe.
Although I'm taking that as a compliment, though. I'm doing something right.
You should. I said I'm jealous of your wardrobe.
No, yeah. Jordan's wardrobe is top notch for those at home. It's top notch.
I always do wear a hoodie just in case I do have to walk home, alone at night, and I do see like a group of people and I want to look imposing. I like to put my hood up.
Yeah.
That's good. Like it doesn't work for me. They just like I put the hood up and they're like, "Oh man, shit. Wait, glasses. Let's take his hoodie
and his sneakers."
It's like, oh wait, never mind. We don't want them. They're beat up.
See, I guess in that case, I'm kind of lucky because I was hit by a car a long time ago, so I kind of walk with a limp. So if it's at night and I have my hood up and I'm limping, ain't nobody gonna mess with me.
That is like a horribly tragic story. I wish people would look at those situations like that. Like,
no, it's horrible.
A black guy wearing a hoodie and limping down the street. Like maybe he has a legitimate injury.
Like I have knee problems, guys. I'm 23. I have knee problems, but
I don't.
You see a very sullen-faced African American who's wearing like a leather jacket or something. Maybe he's a teacher by day and he's just really upset about something right now.
I always wonder where that came from, where it's like, oh, like you're a terrible person if you wear a hoodie. Like I don't know where that came from. Like when the whole obviously the sad situation with Trayvon Martin, to get serious for a second, when that came up, I was just like, and then like I think there was a cop in New Orleans who said, that's exactly how you would get treated in my neighborhood if you come down to my neighborhood, like wearing a hoodie or something like that. And I was just like, when did hoodie? Maybe it's maybe I'm jaded. Maybe it's because we're from California. I'm just like I just like, when it becoming a hoodie, like everyone wears hoodies.
Seriously.
Like, everyone. Like, when is that? Like, oh, he's walking down the street in a hoodie. He's a criminal. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I feel like, when did that happen? That sucks.
Well, I lived in Buffalo, New York, and everybody used to wear hoodies because it's cold.
It's cold, yeah.
That's why I have hoodies now, in case it gets cold.
Yeah.
Sometimes I bring one in case I have a date, because, like you said, Californians sometimes don't like to pretend it gets cold around here.
But anyway, I guess on that note, we should start trying to wind this down. So
did we answer the question at all?
Well, that's what I was saying.
It's okay. You can just cut this together.
Well, that's what I was going to do. Let's go back to the main question. What does it mean to be black?
Wesley Snipes.
Let's start with you, Justin. What do you think it means to be black? Closing statements.
Well, personally, what it means to be black is just that you have black skin, but the way it's going to be interpreted by everyone else is it generates certain stereotypes, I don't want to call them expectations because that sounds like they want it to be that way, but they're kind of just precautions, things that our society has, instilled through entertainment, through culture, through history, that this is when you see somebody who is black, these are the circumstances that are probably true amongst them.
Yeah. All right. Well, Randy, what do you think? What does it mean to be black?
I think he hit a lot of it on the nail there. It's just one of those things where, like he said, it means this your skin color is black. That's people are going to see you. It's like you're past that line, you're black. But to be honest, like that's all it means. It's just skin color. It's just DNA. It's just genetics. I think we put too much into, like you said, the stereotypes in these lists that we check off to be black, to be white, to be Asian, to be Mexican, to be Puerto Rican, to be whatever. And really, all it means is genetics. And really, it should be the focus on what is it. There should be a day this question doesn't exist. It should really be. We shouldn't even be having this conversation right now. It should just be, what does it mean to be human?
Yeah.
You know, that's what we all are.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, you know, crosses traits. And, you know, it's not what it is to be black. It's what it means to be human. What does it mean to be black? Skin color. What does it mean to be white? Skin color. You know, what does it mean to be human? That's what we need to worry about.
It's a matter of understanding. People need to answer that question. They can't just say it's a black person and just leave it there.
And that's not to say that there aren't certain cultural things that tend to appear in certain cultures. Not saying that at all. Not saying that at all. But when it turns into these big overly stereotypes and you treat everyone like they are exactly the same, then that's when it starts to get offline.
Yeah, I agree with what you both said. I just feel like, you know, what does it mean to be black? I feel like, yeah, it's just genetics. It's just skin color. That's nothing more, nothing less. I feel like I'm waiting for the day when people stop seeing other people like by, oh yeah, that's a black guy, and they just have that checklist like, oh, he's wearing a hoodie, he has bling, he's wearing Nikes, and he drives a Cadillac,
pocket and some Skittles.
He's
I'm sorry.
he's carrying a stereo around, bumping Tupac. Do people still do that?
Ghetto Blood?
I hope so.
I want to bring that back.
I feel like a year ago I saw a guy walking around my neighborhood in like a jean jacket, jeans, carrying a boombox. It was amazing. He was a white dude too. It was awesome.
I hope that was all FUBU. I hope he was wearing nothing but FUBU.
I just want a FUBU jean outfit.
Yes.
I hope so. I hope so too. Oh man. And, you know, and I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with being proud of who you are too. There's nothing wrong with being proud to be black, proud to be, you know, Mexican, proud to be white. You know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, and but when we start judging each other by our races, that's the problem. And you know, I'm gonna name drop here. Someone I used to know. What was his name? Martin Luther King Jr. That guy. You know. I mean, that was his dream. Yeah, his dream was that we all got equal rights, but it was also that, you know, we're not judging people by the color of their skin. And I don't think Martin Luther King would say that only pertained to blacks. I think he'd say it pertained to everyone. And, you know, even though, you know, and that's white people included. Don't judge a white person by the color of his skin, you know. Don't look at this white person and be like, oh, you know, you can't listen to Jay-Z or, you know, or you can't listen to... Yeah, I don't know. Is that what's hot in the streets right now? I really don't know. I'm just messing.
You did make a very good point in there. Of course, because you cited Martin Luther King Jr. So it's always a good point.
It's always a good point.
We did focus a lot on the negative sides of, you know, being black, and like you said, you know, people should be proud of what they are, even if they're not black. Yeah. They should be proud of themselves if they are black. You know, this is you, so just, you know, be happy unto yourself.
Yeah, and if anyone who actually ends up watching this, anyone out there, I don't know who it's going to be, if you ever feel like you don't know, like, you don't know who you identify with, you don't know what group you belong to, you're not the only one. Like I said, you know, I still don't, I don't identify myself as black or Filipino, because I'm not just black and Filipino. There's a lot more to me than that. So, I guess at the end of the day, it's just whatever you're into, whatever you like, whatever people you want to surround yourself with.
I identify with whoever likes me. If you hate me, then okay. Yeah. I'm gone.
I think that was a good point you were making, Jordan. You know, you just, I mean, whatever you like, whatever you do, whoever you are, wherever you surround yourself with, the kind of things you like, that's who you are. Don't shy away from it because you feel like you need to fit into some other mold.
Just you don't. There's no criteria for being a person. It's just other than like physically.
Well, Jordan, we're not quadrupeds.
but I mean like culturally, or I don't know what I'm exactly trying to say here.
You're wrapping it up just fine. Keep it going. Yeah. It's not about race. It's about just being human. It's about just being
human beings. Greendale.
There you go. So everybody, what does it mean to be black? It means being a human being.
What does
With
it mean to
black
be
skin.
white? Means being a human
Being a
being.
human being.
What does it mean to be Mexican? It means being a human being. What does it mean to be anything that has to do with human beings? It means being a human being. It's, you know,
It means you go. It means you go to Greendale Community College.
yes,
That's what
where everyone is accepted for being a human being.
I feel like this last at least 5 minutes might actually help somebody.
I'm hoping.
I hope so. I hope so.
The 2 hours before that, no.
That's just gonna hurt. This is gonna be on YouTube tomorrow, causing problems. The whole world.
Mark
What are they
Limbaugh is going to
saying?
have clips of this on his
This is the
show.
first time I was like, see what these.
All three of you is going to hell. That's what's. That's what we can look forward to. Waking up tomorrow, guys. Enjoy your last moments of freedom tomorrow. Notoriety. That's all it is. Tomorrow,
It's over. It's done.
your life is over.
At least we made it as entertainers like they always thought we would.
All right.
All right,
So
on
on that
that
note, Randy, Justin, thank you so much for coming on and talking with me.
Thank you for having us.
If you guys are ever interested in coming on again, you guys are more than welcome.
Always, anytime.
So
Sure.
yes, everyone, I am Jordan, and you guys are all wonderful people, and I will see you guys next time.